We are following several major stories right now, from the severe wind headed our way to the fires burning out in eastern Oregon.
And we do have team coverage from across the Treasure Valley. Our Jude Binkley spoke with the National Interagency Fire Center, who is tracking these fires. Meteorologist Sophia Bliss is tracking possible power outages across the areas, and Idaho's chief meteorologist Rick Lance is tracking the severe winds and storms headed our way.
But first, I want to start out with Abby Wilt, who remains out in eastern Oregon. She's live this afternoon in Ontario, where I-84 is once again closed down because of the Durkee Fire, which has now burned more than 244,000 acres. And again, the #1 fire priority in the entire nation. Abby Wilt was in Huntington all day, but just evacuated out. Again, she's in Ontario. Abby, what is the latest from your location?
That's right. We were in Huntington all day, and we got to Ontario about 2 hours ago. The Baker County Sheriffs actually escorted us here, and they were saying that it is really urgent for Huntington residents to get out now. I've been here the last 2 days, and this was definitely a different level of urgency that I hadn't seen before. They were definitely saying people need to get out, they need to be evacuating, and they need to leave, and they need to bring important documents, important medications, and really just try to escape the fire. We did see the fire burning very close to I-84 as well as very close into Huntington, and the Baker County Sheriff says that they are expecting 75-mile-per-hour winds to continue throughout this evening, which is why they're really urging everyone to get out now if they can. And the Durkee Fire is now 244,000 acres so far, and all evacuation notices are remaining in place, with again Huntington seeing the most dire conditions right now. Huntington is out of power, and they have been since yesterday. Idaho Power tells us that they purposefully shut off power in Huntington in order to reduce hazards and protect fire crews. And our team spoke with Idaho Power Communications Specialist Brad Bowland today, and he says Idaho Power did also just evacuate from Huntington because of the impending weather, but they are planning to return when it is safe.
Definitely go back in there when weather and fire conditions allow for them to safely do so. We've got a lot of repair and restoration work to be done over there, and that's going to take some time.
And we saw several Idaho Power trucks stationed throughout Huntington earlier today. Bowland says they were patrolling lines to make sure that they were free of debris, they were monitoring fire conditions, and they were protecting structures, and they were also repairing poles that have burned. We saw some of those downed power lines today, as you can see in this video, and this was right off of I-84, leaving Huntington toward Baker City. And I also want to show you just some of the other resources that we saw on the fire today before we were evacuated to Ontario. We saw water tanker cars on railroad tracks fighting the fire by spraying water on it from the railroad. The fire is up to the railroad right next to Huntington right now, as I said, as well as up to the I-84. And everyone that I have talked to in Huntington has expressed their appreciation for these firefighters who have been out fighting and protecting their homes and property. There are crews from 22 different states right now at this fire, and from what we know, no structures have been burned yet, but officials say that they haven't been able to fully assess the area yet for that. And Joe and Brenda, it is definitely scary what we're seeing out here today. Again, it's a lot more urgent tonight than I have seen the last 3 days. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on it and bring you live updates as we can. And just a reminder too, that if you are evacuating, there is a Red Cross evacuation center here in Ontario at the Malheur County Fairgrounds. We're going to be heading to that right after this, and we'll be there at 5 for you. So we'll bring you that update then.
Yeah, a lot of community concern, really wanting some answers there. There's going to be a community meeting tonight. That's happening from 6:30 to 7:30, and it will be held virtually due to the ongoing closures with I-84. Thank you so much, Abby.